Hello everybody, my name is RetroBoy03 and welcome to today's video where today we'll be taking a look at my custom LEGO Juniors Cars 3 mock. This model is comprised of parts from 3 sets, those being the Lightning McQueen Quick Launcher, Mater's Junkyard, and the Cruz Ramirez Race Simulator, and I'm calling this build the Radiator Springs Mater National Speedway, and I wonder if any of you get as much nostalgia from that title as I do. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into the build. And, well, first off, you get the 3 cars, and they're all unchanged from how they appeared in the sets, but here you have Lightning, and this is what he looks like on the top. You have Cruz, and also Mater. And again, those three vehicles are all entirely unchanged from how they appeared in the sets they came in, so if when you're taking stuff apart to build these, you can just put these guys off to the side. And well, before we take a look at the main build, we do have a couple of side builds to look at. First, we have this little trophy podium for the Piston Cup, and, well, no Piston Cup actually came with these parts, so I guess, I don't know, maybe it just hasn't been put there. You can just put your own trophy there, of course. So there's that. Then over here, you have 2 little builds. One of them is this little monitor showing that Jackson Storm is in first place, and I'm not sure whether this should be just an actual camera, or this is just a projection of what's probably going to happen. I mean, seeing as how you don't have Jackson Storm here, this is probably just a projection. Clearly, this shows that McQueen is completely beating him, which didn't exactly happen in the movie, but anyway. But yeah, I just used 2 printed pieces there, as well as a couple of pieces, and this Technic hole you get here comes into play later. There's also just this little tiny thing which just uses up another print in 2 of these cylinders, and this is just a 2x2 brick. Anyway, now going on to the main build, there is actually a lot of stuff that's detachable here. For example, here you have this little build, which is supposed to be like a TV displaying a camera feed of Lightning McQueen in an interview. But of course, that's just Mater's smartphone. You can also detach this little fan build, which is pretty simple, but it works fine for what it is. You can also remove this part that just clips on, and this is just a display of the top 3 competitors, these being Lightning, Jackson Storm, and whoever number 36 is. I completely forget who that is in the movie. But anyway, yeah, pretty simple. You can just pull off this crane build here, which is not the same as it is in the Mater's Junkyard set. I removed one piece, if I'm correct, just the dark red piece that goes on, so this is a bit less stable, but I think it still works, and of course it can hinge here, here, and here, so 3 points of articulation, and the hook is on a ball joint, and of course the whole thing can swivel when it's in place. Then on this side, and as you can see, sort of on the sides, they try to make it look like more Radiator Springs, while the center is more of like a Speedway. That was my idea when I did this. You can see that on a jumper, you just have this box of car parts featuring an engine block, just, I guess, some exhaust, and whatever that thing is. That could just be like a tool or an engine part or whatever. Then you can see that in the back there, we have a sign for Tomaters. I'm having a complete brain fart. I cannot remember what this place is called. When you just have a plant over here, you have 2 different kinds of fencing there, and, well, you can see that this actual finish line was put up rather quickly, since on one side you have all this corrugated metal, but on the other side it's just kind of a single straight beam. You also have this little thingy here, which is just kind of a piece of garbage. I mainly set it there because, well, I wanted to have a barrier on this side, plus you can have, I guess, Mater or whoever lean on it if you want them to be watching very intently. Plus, if I put that on, then I could have put the claim with this build that I used all but one of the pieces, and if you can't tell, the one piece that was left out was the ramp from the Cruz Ramirez Race Simulator because, well, I thought it would just be kind of awkward if I fit that in. Anyway, but there are red and green lights on top of the finish line, and in here you can see, well, the print for the line from the speed launcher, and then you have these caution tape pieces, as well as just overall, I feel as though the road has a good amount of bumpiness to being flat, as well as just kind of being at more of an incline here in the back, because obviously Radiator Springs isn't exactly the perfect town. The road isn't too neat. So yeah, and I also like the bit of lighter here, as well as kind of the part here where you can see the gray, which is supposed to represent that the road is kind of coming away. Obviously, the slopes here are because McQueen is about a 5 wide build, so he can just go very comfortably on the tiles, including the yellow ones at the end, and just slide down the ramp, and overall it's just a very comfortable way for him to get down. So anyway, so yeah, that's the build. So now let's go on to how to build the build. In case you've already forgotten, Lightning McQueen, Tomater, and Cruz Ramirez are unchanged from how they appeared in the original set, so there's no modification to do here. Here we have the pieces to build the Radiator Springs-based side builds. Starting over here with this box, where of course all you have to do is just set in these 3 car parts. No actual attachment required. Moving on. Next up we have the little ramshackle piston cup stand. You start out with a 2x8 plate. Then you attach a 2x4, a 1x4 in black, and a 1x6 in blue, both of those being bricks. Then you take a 2x4 brick in gray, stick it on top, and then you just take this little 1x1 red tile and stick it on there. And again, I really just made that so I could use up some extra pieces. But, yeah, I think it works fine for what it is. Next up, you have the little Ramshackle TV Monitor, where you just take this little red piece with a Technic pin, attach this 2x4 with the Technic hole, then you attach on Mater's 2x3 phone print, although for minifigures that's close to an iPad. And then you just take this silver grate, which is just supposed to actually, I don't think I mentioned this in the review a few minutes ago, but that's supposed to represent duct tape. Like, the TV's kind of broken, so they just taped over the side. I thought that was kind of funny, which is why I did it, of course. Anyway, then the last build is the little crane, which you just take the 4x4 round brick. You attach on this little clippy dude. Wait, the 2x2 with the click hinge. That's what it's called, blend, not the clippy. That's not what I call the clippy. Anyway, then you take the 1x4 with click hinges. Attach onto that the 1x2 with click hinges. Attach onto that the whatever this piece is called with the click hinge, the ball joint holder, and then you just attach the hook into the hole. So yeah, that's the crane. Moving on to the next set of side builds. So here are the parts we'll need to build the race-themed side builds. We'll start on the right here, where we'll take the gray 4x4 round brick. Don't know why I moved that, it was in the perfect position. But with that on top, you'll stick the panel printed from the Cruz Ramirez set. Attach on the 2x2 with the extension for the Technic hole. Take this 1x4 bullet. Whatever you keep telling 1x4 is 2x4. So anyway, you take this piece, stick it on top. Then you take the little printed computer tile and stick it here on the side. Okay, next we have the little fan, which is very simple, just 3 pieces. Atari controller in gray. Fan holder. Fan. Okay. Next up, a little computer thingy, 2x2, printed slope, red light, green light. And then last of the race-themed side builds, you take the printed piece from the speed launcher, attach on this brick with the hinge, attach on this brick with the grooves, piece with the holders, and the white topper. So those are all the builds, and now to move on to how to build the finish line. Here are the pieces we're going to need to build the finish line. Starting off, for the 2 pillars on the sides, we'll need this 2x2x5 brick, as well as this 1x2 with the grooves. And then for the other side, we'll need a dark gray 1x2 with a clip, 2 dark gray 1x2s with grooves, and then 3 with grooves in light gray to create this. So the sides are asymmetrical. Then we're going to take this sloped brick 1x8 plate, other sloped brick, 2 of these tiles with bars, whatever this is called, top thingy, green light, red light, and then yellow panel on this side, green panel on this side. So that, and then you just attach it as such. So this is the right side, this is the left side. That was the finish line. Now to go on to the next part. Here are the parts we'll need to build the back half of the Speedway. Starting off, we'll take a 4x6, put a 1x4 underneath. Then over here, we'll take this thingy, put the tomato sign on top. Then over here, we'll just set a jumper plate, set that off to the side. On the other side, we'll do the same thing, 4x6, 1x4. Over here, we'll set this little Technic duty and a dur plant. Other side, here we'll take this big juniors plate, attach the 2 4x6s as such, use these 2 yellow wall things like as such to attach them in by 1 stud. Over here, set the metal fence, picket fence, and then here you take the yellow tiles, so there's 4 studs in between, and then next to those you set the gray tiles, leaving 2 studs total in between. So that's the back half of the Speedway, and now to move on to the front part of the Speedway. Okay, and last part, we start off with this giant black tile. We attach on the race ramp. Behind that we put these 2 light gray 2x2s, then this dark gray 2x4. So then over here we attach on this this 2x6. And we attach this caution tile here, and on the other side we put a 2x4, a grate, and other caution tile. And over here, 2x2, 1x3 slope, 1x3 slope, mustache hinge, 1x3 slope, 1x3 slope, and then last but not least, thingy. Congrats, we've got the front of the Speedway plus a piece of garbage. Now to assemble everything together. Okay, so you take the front half and the back half. They just connect so that the yellow tiles line up with the caution tiles. And then for the finish line, you just attach it on the 4 studs left open by the slopes. And then obviously you just attach all the stuff with clips and jumpers as you see fit. And I almost forgot to mention, but I will here, the crane is designed so that all the things with holes in them, like for example, I'll just use the computer monitor, can just be lifted and moved around with the crane, because why not? Alternatively, you can launch them because I'm a buffoon. But anyway, thank you. That's the set. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see all of you in the next video. Bye-bye.